Hello and welcome to my channel on AI automation. In the last episode, I showed you a step-by-step process using a system with Claude Code on how to self-host a free n8n instance on Oracle Cloud or Google Cloud as a backup if Oracle Cloud is giving you capacity issues. I also demonstrated my hunt script that I created in order to procure that free VM of Oracle Cloud that we were not able to get because of that known issue of Oracle free tier being out of capacity always. So finally, after 40th try, we were able to procure it and we successfully deployed our n8n instance without writing a single command, without knowing any kind of Linux system or complexities of technical tutorials. We used Claude Code and this n8n self-host autopilot system that I created for you in order to successfully deploy and make n8n up and running free of cost on Oracle Cloud as well as GCP Cloud as a backup. And that was the first problem or first challenge that most of us face. That's why we opt for that $24 a month plan on n8n Cloud so that we are at peace of mind. But for those of us who do not have any kind of complex n8n workflows, not thousands of executions are there, managing our self-hosted instance makes sense because you start saving almost like $300 a month if you consider almost all the taxes that you pay on it. But the problems does not stop over there because now you have your own self-hosted instance or VM running in cloud. The second problem that comes is how do I migrate everything from n8n cloud that I've already created? Like for me, there are like 188 workflows. So how do I migrate all of them to my self-hosted instance, even though it is free, even though it is like 24 GB RAM on Oracle Cloud? I know that machine is sufficient enough to do whatever I need to do with n8n, but still, how do I migrate it? And above all, the second problem for the likes of me, who has created like 100 plus or 188 workflows in n8n cloud. I have organized them into different folders. So how do I make sure that all that folder hierarchy moves into my self-hosted n8n instance? That is the second problem, or that is the problem that I was facing, and I continued paying like almost for 6 months because of that problem, because I never had time to manually create each and every folder. That's on me. Maybe you have already created it, maybe it is not a problem, but in today's video I'm going to demonstrate a trick that you can use using Claude Code again to solve this particular problem, because n8n does not provide you any kind of metadata about folders in their public APIs, and that's the challenge. And finally, we'll end the video by showing you how easy it is to use Claude Code and maintain or manage your self-hosted cloud VM. That is the third challenge or fear or apprehension among many of us, because we are not from DevOps background. We do not know Linux commands. We do not want to run commands or configure Nginx or deal with security or deal with optimization of n8n instance. We want someone else to do, and that's why we are not picking our self-hosted instance. So that is the third problem that I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to manage it. Of course, like it is not there as good as like a person being replaced, but you're still doing a very effective job with the system that I have created. It is called n8n self-host autopilot. Now enough of Gyan and theory. Let's jump right into the screen share and start where we left off in the last session, where we basically created the Oracle VM. Alright, so you can see that Oracle Cloud has been configured on this particular URL for us. That's where we left. If I go on to over here on my Chrome browser, you can see that n8n-giu.duckdns.org, that my first Oracle VM workflow, it is up and running over here. The instance is up and running. I'll just refresh it to just make sure. I'll close this duckdns. We don't need anymore. So you can see that it is up and running. Now this is my instance, which is my DigitalOcean instance. That is what I'm going to use as source, because I have already migrated from n8n cloud onto my DigitalOcean server that I had. Now I'm going to show you that if you can perform the same steps on your n8n cloud instance, but here the source would be my DigitalOcean servers. But like I said, you can replace this with your n8n cloud, all these steps that I'm going to show you. So now you can see that this is empty, and over here I have all these folders which are there, right? And then like there are so many workflows down over here as well. Again, many of them I use for reference, many of them are these tutorials, and some of them are running in production for me. They are all integral part of my entire content operating system that I have developed for me for this whole GenAI Unplugged YouTube tutorials as well as the Substack. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to my Substack, go over and subscribe over there, because all these details would also be available. How to access this n8n self-host autopilot, that is also all available over there. As a subscriber, you are going to get a lot of other tutorials as well, so don't miss that opportunity and go over there. Again, coming back over here, you can see all these folders are there, so we are going to migrate all of them. And so the first way of migrating n8n instance that I'm going to show you is using a workflow. So I have created this export import n8n instance workflow. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to create the same exact workflow in the Oracle Cloud. And why I'm doing it, you can do it on your n8n cloud as well, and I would suggest you do it over there, because that is like a cloud managed by n8n instance or n8n as a company. So you are going to get the performance. But over here, my DigitalOcean server hosts other things as well. So I do not want it to block the operations of other things which are like my blog, the website. There are a couple of other things that are running over here. So I'm going to run this as a workflow on the newly created high power machine, which is like 24x the power of what I have over here, and I'm going to run it over there. So let's copy all this and let's go to our new VM, which is the Oracle VM, create a new workflow over here. Let's paste it over here. Let's click on this so that it gets into the viewable area, and let's rename this to migrate from Oracle Cloud to new VM. All right, so it has been renamed. Now first let's look at what this workflow is doing. So it's very basic. The trigger is like manual trigger. I click on this, it gets executed. You can use a schedule trigger, but there is no reason to do that. Now this particular node is an n8n node. If I click on it, it's a node that is provided to us. So if I search the n8n node, so this helps you programmatically make calls to your n8n instance. So that's the whole trick over here, that we are going to automate the automation, right? So n8n helps us with the automation. We are going to automate that itself. So how do you do that? You do it with the help of n8n node or HTTP node. And why HTTP node? I have told you in one of my lessons or last section of the entire free n8n course that is available on my YouTube channel, that you need to use HTTP when you are using or you want to programmatically control n8n instance outside, because n8n node does not provide all that capability where HTTP node helps you over there, right? But here both the instances are n8n instance, and n8n operations is what we have to do, migrate one workflow to another. That's why we are using the n8n node. So if I click on it, you can see that all these actions on n8n instance you can do. You can like get all the execution or a particular execution, many execution, publish a workflow, create a workflow, unpublish, delete, get a workflow, get many workflows. So we want to get all the workflows which are there on our n8n cloud first, and then we are going to loop over one by one all these workflows, and we are going to create a workflow in the destination instance, which is this instance where this workflow is running. So like I said, you can host this workflow on your n8n cloud as well. I'm not hosting on my source because my source is a less powered machine. I have already migrated from n8n cloud to that machine. So that's why I'm not hosting or running or executing this workflow over there. That's why this create workflow node is going to create the workflow in your destination, which is our current machine. Now you can see that these two are basically erroring out or giving any kind of warning. Why? Because we have not configured the credentials for it. So if I open it, you can see the blank credentials are there. I'm going to click on this new create credential, and this is going to be the source account, which is our n8n source account, or you can call it cloud account, right? So this is our n8n source cloud account for which the credential needs to be created. So I'm going to go to that instance, which is the source for me. I'm going to click on this settings. I'm going to click on this n8n API over here, right? And on this screen, you can click on this create an API. And here you can mention migration project, or you can name it anywhere you want, or you can use this API key for other purposes as well if you want. I don't want, I just need the 7 days expiration because I'm just going to finish this now. So I'm going to like click on save. So the API key is created. I'm going to click on copy. I'm going to click on done. right? This key, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it directly. The second thing is the base URL. So you can see that the base URL is the cloud instance URL. Over here, you can put the cloud instance and then /API/v1. That's what we have to put. However, for us, the base URL is a little different. So I'm going to like just copy this one and I'll say API/v1, right? Now we are going to save this. So the connection is tested successfully. So that means it is now connected to my DigitalOcean server, or for you, it would be connected to your cloud instance. So I'm going to like cross it out and I'm going to say resource is workflow, and you can see operation is get many, and I have said return all. So that means it is going to return all the workflows that are there, right? So now let's go back and let's quickly configure this one as well. So the error has gone. So don't think the error has gone. This is a credential to create the workflow. If you run the workflow as is, it is going to create from source to source, right? So for now, I'm going to cross this out and probably I like just duplicate this tab. So this is my DuckDNS one, the free one that we just hosted in the last lesson. If you have not watched the last lesson, go and watch that last lesson and then come back over here. If you already are hosting, then you don't need to go and watch that lesson, but that's like a really cool lesson how you can use Claude Code to self-host on autopilot without knowing any DevOps knowledge, without knowing any kind of Linux commands or technical stuff or technical tutorials. So yeah, I mean, over here, again, we'll come back to this n8n API. I'm going to click the create API key. I'm going to rename the same thing. I'm going to say it's 7 days and I'm going to click on save. I'm going to copy this now. Done. Let's come back to our source. Now let's click on this create workflow, open this. Now here, let's go over here. Click on this create new credential. Now we are going to create the destination account. So this one is n8n Oracle destination account, right? So this is the account where we want all the workflows to be migrated. So I'm going to paste the key and in the URL, I'm going to like copy this API/v1. Let's save this. So the connection has been tested successfully. Let's close this. So let's rename this quickly in destination. Now let's come back. It is already auto saving our progress. So that's where history is getting maintained. So now our workflow is ready to be executed. And what I'm going to do, open this, go back to the settings and go back to our main project. All right, go over here and let's refresh it. So as you can see right now, 2 workflows are there only. First one we created in the last lesson just to test it out. Our instance is up and running on duckdns.org. Next one is migrate from Oracle Cloud to New VM. I think I renamed it incorrectly. So it should be migrate from cloud to new Oracle VM. So now it makes sense, right? And now let's go back. Now let's refresh it. So now the workflow is correctly being called out or renamed. That is migrate from cloud to new Oracle VM. These are the only 2 workflows. Now, if I go back to my n8n instance, which is like on DigitalOcean, which is the production server that we have. If I go over here, personal project, you would see there are so many of them, right? So all these workflows are there and then these are folders. So now I'm going to click on this execute workflow and it is going to first get, I think about 180 plus workflows. So get all workflows is running. It is going to take some time. You can see that, okay, it has like about 168 items. So all right, my bad. So 168 items are there. And now it is going to go through and start creating. And you can see that now it has started creating. Let's go and I'll just show you. So let's refresh this. So you'll start seeing that all these workflows have started coming in over here, right? So now I'm going to go and just stop it over here. All right. Why I did it? It has already migrated 25 workflows. You can see in less than a minute, 25 workflows have been migrated. It would have migrated all 168 workflows. But the problem is that with this kind of migration approach, the problem lies that all these workflows are being created under my personal project in the root of it, or there is no folder hierarchy being maintained. And I have already done a hard work of managing and organizing all my n8n workflows in my source or cloud, right? Now the problem is if I look at the n8n course, you would see that there are 2 more folders in it. If I go over here, then there are workflows in it. And I want this all hierarchy to be maintained. You can see that if I go over here, you might have seen lesson 16. So you can see that lesson 16 over here, which is personal n8n course workflow building. But if I come over here, the lesson 16 is dumped right away. So if I come here, you can see that lesson 16 has been dumped into the personal folder or personal project root itself. There is no folder created. And why? Because n8n does not provide the capability or the metadata of folder right now in their APIs, which is a big bottleneck. So how do we solve this, right? So I'm going to show you a trick using Claude Code on how to solve this. So first thing, let's go back over here. Maybe I'll have to go through all of them and delete them. So this is on my duckdns.org. That's just wanted to make sure. Let me quickly just delete them and come back. Alright, all my workflows have been archived or deleted which were created using the workflow that we had migrate from cloud to Oracle VM. If you do not have this organization or a folder problem, that's it, you are done. You just execute this. The entire server from n8n cloud or anywhere you want is migrated to the new VM that you have just created. So your job is done. But if you need the folder hierarchy, then what you should do is let's open the command line and fire up the Claude Code. But I'm going to fire up the Claude Code in a different way. So let's go ahead and let me show you new window. Let me bring this to over here. Let me expand this. So in the last lesson, I showed you Claude Code running from a terminal inside my Visual Studio. This time I'm going to show you Claude Code running right away from the command line interface. I'm going to start the Claude with Chrome attached to it. So there is a detailed lesson, a 45-minute tutorial that I have published already on my channel, that how to use Claude Code with Chrome. That's what something that you need to go and watch how to configure Claude Code with Chrome. How it is going to help us? The moment you start Claude Code with Chrome integrated, it is going to get the access of the Chrome, and I have created a detailed prompt in order to do exactly what we want us to do. That is copy folders one by one, copy workflows in them one by one from source to destination and do the job for us. So instead of I manually doing it, now I'm going to just execute that command, go over, have coffee, have lunch, come back. By the time I come back, it is going to go through all the folders, all the workflows inside it, and going to copy everything folder by folder, hierarchy by hierarchy. That's how I was able to migrate my 180 plus workflows from n8n cloud to the DigitalOcean server. And that's the exact thing that I'm going to do now in order to migrate from my DigitalOcean server, which is less capacity server, now that I have this Oracle machine, thanks to the system of Claude Code that I have created called n8n Self-Host Autopilot. If you have not yet grabbed the copy of it, go to my Substack, check the link in the description of the video, get a copy of it, watch the last video, and have the Oracle VM up and running for you for free of cost, 24 GB RAM, 4 vCPUs. Let's open the Visual Studio and let's open the integrated terminal over there. How do we start or connect our Claude Code with Chrome? You just type Claude -- Chrome. That's it. This command tells the Claude to start with Chrome access. Now Claude is running with Chrome support. How do we ensure that it is running? We use / Chrome. And as you can see, if I do that, then status is enabled, extension is installed, enabled by default, no. And all these things are mentioned in that 45-minute tutorial, step by step, everything in detail, what you can do with the power of Claude Code and Chrome, both in action in that video. So go and watch that video, come back over here after doing the initial setup. Now it is working. Let's confirm with Claude Code whether it can access or not. So that's just a plain simple confirmation, and I can say that, hey Claude, can you check if you have access to the Chrome browser or not? So now it is basically going to check the access. All right, you can see that it has opened the Chrome browser, and over here you can see it says Claude MCP. So that means Chrome browser is now being controlled by Claude Code. If I go back to the terminal over here, yes, I have the access to Chrome browser automation. The Claude in Chrome extension is connected and working. And it is saying that I can navigate to websites, interact with page elements, take screenshot, fill forms, and perform other browser automation tasks. And that's exactly what we want it to do. We want it to basically go ahead and perform some steps and copy all our n8n workflows one by one, folder by folder, nested folder by folder, from one instance to another instance. And for that, I have created a very simple prompt, and I'll give that prompt to you as well. Now, let me show you the prompt that we have. So if I bring the editor over here, you can see the task is backup n8n workflows or cloud workflows to self-hosted instance, keeping all folder hierarchy intact. And again, at the bottom, I have the important preserve exact folder names, workflow names, and structured throughout. What I have done is source. This is my n8n instance, which is the production one. You can say that for you, it could be like a cloud instance, right? For me, it's the DigitalOcean server. This is the new instance that we had created, right? You remember, like, this is the one that we have created earlier in the lesson, or like last lesson, we created the Oracle instance. So this is the instance where we are going to migrate. And we just showed you that what is the disadvantage of using the n8n workflow type of migration, where the workflow was dumping all the workflows into the root of the personal project without maintaining the folder hierarchy. Here we are defining a goal of create an exact replica of all workflow from source to destination, preserving the folder structure and naming. So I'm going to like just copy this. Let's go ahead and see it in action. I'm going to paste it. It has pasted everything. It shows that pasted text 1 from 21 lines. So I'm going to enter. You can see that now it is going to show the prompt. I'll help you back up the n8n workflow while preserving the folder structure. Let me go to the Chrome tab just to see. So you can see that it has now the access to the Chrome. All right, it is opening. So now it is asking a new permission required. So Claude wants to navigate to this particular website, which is my source domain. Allow this action or always allow action on this site. I'll say just always allow action on this site. Now Claude has opened this. You can see that Claude started debugging this browser and it has opened it. Soon it is going to open the second one as well, which is the destination. So let me do one thing. Let me like put this on the right and let's go ahead and put our Visual Studio on the left. So on the left hand side, we have the Claude Code running. On the right hand side, we have the Chrome, which is controlled by this. Now you can see that it is saying, I can see the source n8n instance. Here is the folder structure and it has already provided and seen the folder structure and also understood that how many workflows are there in my source folder structure. So that means it has already read the data that is there, right? Now this is a substantial migration with nested folders. Should I proceed with copying all the workflows from source to destination, preserving the exact folder structure and names? This will involve navigating between both instances, creating matching folders, destination, copying workflow JSON from, and creating workflows with identical names on destination. So it is going to do all that. If I say yes, go ahead, do that. It will start doing the job and it will create the exact copies of it. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just say that copy the most important ones, or I'll just say that copy only the workflows for now in this particular session, the ones that I need. So let's pick let's suppose my content factory. Let's pick this one. What I'll say is only copy the workflows for now in this session from this folder. I'm just giving a demo. So let's do that first and let's see everything is working fine or not. Then we are going to proceed with rest of the folders one by one and rest of the remaining workflows which are there in the root. Does this sound okay to you? Generally, I now dictate rather than typing. It speeds up the entire tutorial as well as my interaction with the Claude Code or anywhere I'm vibe coding. So I'm going to press enter. Now let's see what happens. It should understand. So this sounds like a great approach. Let's do a demo of my content factory. And now it is going to basically, if I go over here, let's wait for it to open the destination. All right, so now it has entered the my content factory and there are 17 workflows it is saying. Let me click directly in on to enter the folder. So now I am inside the my content factory folder. I can see 17 workflows in total. Let me scroll down to see all of them first. So it's going to solve the problem very systematically as a human is doing. I know it is slow, but it is going to get the job done for you so that you can do something else, right? I can just walk away from the system, do whatever I want to do. It will keep on doing the job in the background. I don't even need to like just look at it and watch it. It's just the demo. That's why I'm like looking at it and I'm showing it to you what it is doing. So that's the beauty of it, that you can offload the manual churn, manual task to Claude Code and let it perform on your own behalf. So now it has seen all the workflows. Now it has entered into one of the workflow, which is like Substack Hero Image Factory. Now it has entered into that. So by the way, very soon I'm going to publish a detailed video about how I have created my own AI monk avatar, and how I generate all these consistent images for all my articles on Substack. Very soon the video is coming. Similarly, how I generate my YouTube thumbnails using AI. I'm going to demonstrate that to you. So now you can see that it is saying notes appear. Let me try a different approach. I'll use drag selection. You can see that it has dragged everything and it's trying to select here. So now that it has copied behind the scenes everything, it is asking me the permission to allow for the other side. So let me allow that. You can see the status is copied over here and it has opened the destination now. So destination is open. You can see Claude started debugging this browser. So this means it has access to this as well. And this tab group of Chrome, you can see it is saying Claude MCP. So all these tabs under it are being controlled by our Claude Code session that is running right now. So I can see destination instance. It has 2 workflows, but no folders yet. So everything that I am seeing, you are seeing on the screen, Claude Code is also able to see. Now it is creating a folder in the personal. It is going to put the name of the folder that we have. A dialog appeared. Let me type my content factory in the input field. So it has typed that. Now it is going to click on create. So the first folder has been created. You can see that my content factory is here. My content factory was also there on my source n8n instance. Now it is going to enter into this. So it is going to click it. Again, you can see that it is slow a bit, but like what can you do? Like it is doing it for you, right? So even if it is slow, it's an offline async type of a task. So now a new workflow has been created. And you can see it has copy pasted all the notes. So workflow successfully created inside your personal workspace in a folder called my content factory. Now it is going to save it and go back to the source where it is going to open the second workflow and going to copy paste or repeat the entire process again. And you can see that it is saying it has to rename it to this. So it is going to rename that so that everything in your source n8n instance is exactly replicated into your destination n8n instance. Hey, success. So first workflow copied successfully. Now let me go back to the source and copy the next workflow. I'll switch to the source tab. Now you would see it switching to the source tab, or like if I go over here, let me switch it for you. Now it is going to go into basically the second one, which is there. So I'm back at the source folder. Now let me click the second workflow. Now it has clicked the second workflow, which is like 09-LinkedIn-content generator. You can see it dragged everything, selected everything, as if you have hired a VA to do this job for you so that you get your time back to work on some creative work, some work that you are focused or determined to complete this week. So that's how you migrate your n8n instance from cloud or anywhere to the destination n8n instance wherever you want to migrate, either a self-host one or somewhere else. But this approach lets you copy it folder by folder, maintaining the entire organization step by step. The older approach of migrating it using the n8n workflow that I showed would only apply to those who do not have a lot of organization done in their source n8n instance. So you can skip this entire part if you are one of those. But if you are one of those like me who has like so many folders, so many workflows dumped out over there, and I don't want to lose them. Of course, I'm not going to use all of those workflows, but I don't want to lose them, right? So this is the power that I'm trying to explain with the help of this tutorial, that you don't need to be an expert at everything, or you don't need like a manual labor right now. Claude Code can work for you. It could be slow, but it will get the job done, at least the basic job done, which is requires you to like just copy paste or follow instructions step by step in a browser, in a website. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that in both the instances, I have already logged in. So the session was already there in my Chrome. If the session was not already authenticated in my Chrome, it would have opened up, the authentication screen would have come. I would have to log in to these two instances. Then only the Claude Code will get access to both these instances. It is not like it has logged in. The access that we provided was mainly to use the website, not like authenticate with the website. We allowed Claude Code to perform actions on our behalf. We did not allow Claude Code to authenticate. So the authentication is still controlled by the person. So the sites that you have authenticated yourself in the Chrome session that you have, Claude Code can access to it and perform actions on your behalf or anybody else's behalf. It's the same way that you might have given an SOP to your virtual assistant or a VA who is performing the job for you. It is the same thing, but you are paying just like a $20 a month to Claude Code, not just doing this job, but like other jobs are as well. It is not going to charge as a VA might charge like a $20 or 25 or a 30 or even a $50 hour. So meanwhile, I spoke all this, our second workflow has been copied as well. So this is just a demonstration in the video how you can copy folder by folder. So I'm going to ask it to stop now. So you can see that I can see 2 workflows already saved. Let me click the create workflow button. So now it has started copying the third workflow, which is like 07 YouTube thumbnail factory. Again, for this workflow as well, soon a video is coming up. But for now, I'm going to ask it to stop right now, or I'll just press the escape key so that it stops doing what it is doing and we can move on to the third part of the lesson. That was an apprehension or a challenge for you was, how do I keep maintaining my VM which is in cloud? What should I do? How do I secure it? How do I optimize it for the performance that I want? How do I harden the security of the server? How do I monitor it, upgrade it? All these questions are valid questions. All these concerns are valid questions because n8n Cloud was doing it for you for now. But how do you do that now? Because you are not like a DevOps engineer or a Linux expert or an IT administrator. You don't know how to deal with these Linux systems. That's where the third part of this n8n self-host autopilot system that I have built for you comes in handy. Now I'm going to show you some simple commands that you can use in order to keep your system up and running and maintenance. You can even go further, explore these commands and ask the Claude Code system to schedule these commands on a weekly basis, daily basis, howsoever you want. So let's jump right in over there. Let's quit after this workflow for now. So it's saying got it. Let me save this workflow and then we'll stop. Let me press escape over here. So this has been interrupted. So now let me open it again. Let me expand it a bit. Let me clear the session now because now we are going to move into the third part. So I'll just clear it. I'll just open this up. So in this n8n self-host autopilot system, I have other commands as well. And you can see there are like logs, monitor, optimize, restart, secure, status, as well as upgrade, right? So all these commands are going to help us maintain our n8n instance on a daily basis. So first thing could be like every morning you want to check the status or health of your system. So for that, you can just say /n8n dash status. So now it is going to check the status of our Oracle machine that we had deployed. So now it is reading the file configuration. It's going to check what is the status that we have. So it was trying to connect to my n8n production system, which is like hosted on the digital ocean. But let us ask it to run these commands on the newly created Oracle machine. I want you to run on the Oracle machine that we just created, not on my production instance of n8n. So now it is going to find the Oracle machine details from the deployment state files. So there are state files that are being maintained over here. So this system maintains these state files so that the Claude Code can get an understanding of where we are, what it needs to do. And you can see that the instance status has been returned. So container is this, status up for 4 hours. The version is this, status is healthy, CPU is this much, memory is this much, and the UR is this much. Everything looks good. n8n is running healthy on your Oracle instance. Now the next command that comes is n8n logs. So let's suppose something is not working. How do you as non-DevOps engineer, non-Linux expert, non-technical person ask or troubleshoot it? So you can just say /n8n dash logs, which is the second command. Now it has started reading the n8n logs. Now you can see that the log summary says all database migrations are completed successfully. License is activated and renewed. That's what we did. Like I activated the license, which it emailed me. I use that key and put it into the Oracle instance so that it can be activated. Workflow history compaction running periodically, blocked some bot callers like OpenAI search bot or Claude bot. So that's already done. It is also showing warnings, right? The second one is like Python task running missing. The third one is deprecation warning. And if I say let's fix it, it is going to go ahead and fix it. So that's how like you read in English, you explain it in English, you answer it in English, and it is going to maintain the system for you. You don't need the knowledge behind. It has all the knowledge that is required. Next command is an important command because you want your system to always be backed up, right? Let's go ahead and let's write n8n dash backup. If you write it over here, create a backup of n8n data volume and configuration. So I'm going to just press enter, and now it is going to start creating the backup as well. So it is copying some of the files, copying some of the dates. Now it has started creating the backup, and it has successfully created the backup over here. The backup is small. This is a fresh n8n instance with minimal data. As you add workflows and credentials, future backups will be larger in size. What could be the next thing that can come to mind? Basically, one of the most common thing is, how do I keep updating the n8n instance? Of course, use this command very carefully after reading all the change logs on the n8n website so that you are not upgrading the n8n instance without break anything in your production instance. Use this very carefully, but still you don't need to perform any actions by logging into the server. You have set up the system once. So I'm going to say like just n8n upgrade. So this is the next command, right? As you can see the description, upgrades the n8n to the latest version. So I'm just going to press enter. Now it is going to automatically log into the server. It is going to run all the multiple commands that are required to upgrade your n8n instance, and it is going to update it. Now it is saying the current version is this. A backup was just created, now pulling the latest image. Otherwise, it would have created a backup for you as well. Let's see what happens. So it is now fetching the latest copy. You can see it is going to fetch the latest copy. Maybe it is the same version that we have currently right now, and it might report that, both the versions are same, not going to upgrade. As you can see, upgrade is complete. So the previous version was this, new version is this, health is healthy. So you are already on the latest version. The next thing that comes in mind is, you need like a quick restart. I don't want to like restart, but still I'll just show you n8n dash restart. If I do that, it is going to restart the n8n instance. Maybe for some reason it has stuck in like infinite loop. You want to restart it. You don't want to like SSH into your system. You just open Claude Code, ask n8n self-host copilot system. It is going to do that for you. Now it has restarted it and the status is up for 9 seconds. We just did that. Next one is the security one. This is the most important one. As you can see that /n8n dash secure, it will harden the security of our n8n instance. If I click on this or execute it, let's see what it tells us. So it will apply security hardening to your Oracle instance. Let me work through this systematically. So that means it is now going to check whatever is there and try to harden the security of our server. You can see that it is saying that UWA firewall is configured. Now installing fail to ban. So that's like one of the pending tasks that we had to secure this server. It is going to secure it, run all these commands, execute them for you, and basically give a hardened copy. It's not still like, 100% secured, 100% foolproof, but still it is a better job of not knowing anything and having a system or something that already knows everything about all these systems, configure it for you, much like an expert. So now it's saying fail to ban installed and configured, SSH hardening applied, now enabling automatic security update. So now security update of your Ubuntu or Linux machine is going to be automatically applied. So automatic updates are enabled now. Now let's see what it is going to do next. So let me verify SSH still works and run the security check. So it's going to do the verification as well. All these commands are available in the pro version. So go ahead and get a copy of it. You are probably going to get back that cost in like a couple of hours of working with it. And then it is free forever. And you can see that now it has hardened the security of the server. Next command that I would like to show you is the monitoring command. Basically, it helps you set up the monitoring alert. So if I just copy that /10-monitor, all right. So you can see setup n8n uptime monitoring setup. So if I click on this guide covers setup by uptime monitoring of your n8n instance. Let me check your instance health point and provide a specific URL you will need. So now your n8n instance healthy endpoint is working. Health check is this, login page is this. So it has performed all the internal steps. Now it is asking us to basically go ahead and use this uptime robot free service to sign up and configure and start monitoring our n8n instance. And I'll do it later, but you can follow the process or the steps that it is telling, and get the monitoring up and running so that you can sleep peacefully at nights and get the email alerts or telegram alerts as soon as it happens on your system. So you can go ahead and create your account on Uptime Robot. I'll create it once I destroy all this instance and create a new instance on my machine so that I have a fresh copy of everything. And the last command that I have for you is another important command, which is /optimize. So you can see it increases the performance optimization and scaling of your n8n instance. And what it does, it basically does it in 3 steps. So if I click on this, you will see that there are 3 phases of optimization that I have built in this system. And how it works is like basic optimization based on our needs. Like it analyzes the system, what it is doing, how much it is utilizing. Then it is going to provide that your Oracle instance has to deliver plenty of headroom. Let me apply the level 1 optimization. And the free version of my n8n self-host autopilot does have this level 1 optimization. But if you need like level 2 and level 3 optimization, you can take the pro version. But here you can see optimization has been completed. All these steps it has already performed for us. So that means it is up and running. I can ask it, what are the level 2 and level 3 optimizations? Now it is going to tell us what it would do like for level 2 and level 3, which is like much more advanced in nature. So you can see it is going to do a database optimization as well as the workflow design best practices optimization. And it will help you also use Redis cache as well as use the queue mode of n8n if you ever need it. If you do not have enough headspace, or if you are not able to get the Oracle machine and you are running your self-hosted machine, then the level 2 and level 3 optimizations are needed. Otherwise, I have plenty of room now that I have this beast machine for me. I don't need level 2 and level 3 optimization. So all these commands and much more, almost like 30 plus commands are there in the pro version. So go ahead, get a copy of this n8n self-host copilot that I have built for you. There is a free version that will do enough for you. Go ahead and get a copy of my system and let me know how it works. You can reach out to me on Substack as well as LinkedIn, or I am just a comment away in this video tutorial down there. If you like this 2-part series or this video itself and how we are using Claude Code in order to manage our self-hosted instance of n8n, then do give it a like to this video, subscribe to my channel and share this video with others whom you think are going to get benefit from this kind of video, this kind of system, or learning Claude Code as well. So goodbye my friend, I'll see you in the next video on this channel.